first shot was good. Let's see how this one goes. This is the director cut. It's the Zack Snyder Justice League. Did you ever watch that? You did, what'd you think? I mean, not the first, but the movie.
It's very exploding.
It's very right.
Exploding. There are lots of explosions.
Yep. Okay.
I like that word in the back.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was potentially a really good moment for that word for a lot of things. Something's really good. Well, we stand over here.
Okay, so we're live.
Okay. So we just say go?
Yep. This is as far as I can go.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so we are back. We had an adventure on Monday night, which did not go well. We're basically going to do the same presentation, and we are going to just sort of explore again body feel, and group rated body feel, this basic Suburi cut with the boken that basically I was coaching the sensei. And assisting me tonight is David Pease, the sensei. Okay, so we're going to move around a bit. And, okay. One of the things that is important is what we're talking about body feel. It's not purely just the body. Okay, body feel, sensei was big on saying put it in the body. Okay, I don't think it just meant that it was strictly body exercise. But the tendency is to be kind of in the upper awareness, knowledge realm of something. It's kind of like the branches of a tree. Okay? And that was what Bruce Lee said, the surface knowledge. Surface knowledge is important. The branches of a tree, what would make it a tree? But Bruce Lee said the real root was the real knowledge. The root, not the branches. Okay? And we did the cut together. And if you're going to ask David Sensei to share his experiences about the body feel place, because we explain things, gave information. Okay? Did you say anything?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, on the video that didn't get published, we were working, Jack Sensei was working with me on a cut using an idea of a safe hanging from a chain. And the thing that came through most clearly for me was the idea that the raise of the boken, is the beginning of the drop of the safe. So I'm not lifting something heavy, but something is dropping, and it continues to drop, and then it reaches the end of its chain. So the lift isn't a lift; it's the beginning of a fall.
Okay.
And that image helped me to relax and feel something that I hadn't been aware of before.
And you were talking about maybe the inconsistency, in other words, you're kind of in the body field and you found yourself.
And of course, once I had that idea, I would start thinking about that idea so much, and I would notice I stopped feeling what I was doing, and I'd have to keep getting out of my own way and getting out of my head and just going and letting myself feel whatever it was I was feeling, and not trying to judge it one way or the other.
Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the center stage position for a little bit. We'll be all the way straight there, so you haven't lost the baby since then. But one of the things I do want to share a little bit, I was listening to a San Francisco Giants broadcast, and one of the broadcasters, Mike Krukow, was talking about hitting. And his point was interesting. He said, if you think you're in trouble because things are coming at you 95 to 100 miles an hour, and then the other thing he said, if you don't think you're in trouble because things change. The pitch was supposed to be changes. And unless you can recognize that and adapt to it, you're done there. I'm saying is branches are important. We're going to cover the branches. And we're also going to cover an exercise, which is more like an Einsteinian thought experiment, to get us to the bottom of it. Okay? So several things. We're going to basically go over a couple of things, gripping the soil. This is the branches. Okay, there's a tendency to grip like this, which is kind of a 90-degree grip. Okay? And grip. And I hold this way. It's very difficult to execute the closing motion at the end. Okay, so my grip is more of a diagonal grip. So you see the V between your thumb and your index finger, that's inserted at the top. You put your palm as part of the grip and you close lightly from little finger, ring finger. In fact, your little finger, ring finger, and thumb are about the same. Okay? You don't grip too much with the middle finger or the index finger. Okay? And then the same thing is at the bottom. Put the V in the middle, attach your palm, close your little finger. Okay? Now the thumb itself, if it starts to do this, starts to kind of, you see when I hold this way, I go into the diagonal grip, and I lose the V right in the middle. V in the middle is very important for the closing motion. Without the closing motion, there's no cut. Now the cut is to get us into what I call the body field dimension of ourselves. Okay? And what I try to do, because you want to raise as straight as you can and cut as straight as you can. So I warm up. Okay, I warm up by going all the way back, like I'm putting sort of my spine, and then boom. And you can do this any number of times. What I want to stress is when you are doing the cutting movement, or the warming up motion, you can count, say, I'll do 10, I'll do 20, I'll do 100, I'll do 300, I'll do 2,000, whatever it is. It's not about that. It's about being in the moment and in the field experience of the body field. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start with visualization. We're going to put a very heavy chain, attach something on something that will not break at the top of it. Then we're going to attach the other end of the chain to a heavy safe. And then what's going to happen is we're going to push that heavy safe so all of a sudden it's dropping down. And at some point it will hit the end of the chain, boom. All right? So what we're going to do here is follow David Sensei's explanation to us. We're going to start out here, and you're going to be sitting on that safe at the top of it. Okay? Now, somebody's going to push that safe down. And one of the things here, let's say your hands are up. There's that rush down. And the safe is going to fall, and at the very end of it, it's going to hit the end of the chain. Boom. And that is the cut. So it's easier to start here in this loaded position. Now, safe drops, experience it down. Boom. That's the end of it. Okay? Now what we're going to do, we're going to do a series of drops. Okay? And the way that David Sensei explained it, we tend to think up and then down. But really, what it is, the second that safe drops, you're sitting on top of it. And what you're going to do is you're going to get that feeling it's all going up. Okay, right in here, it's all going up. But when the safe hits the end of the wait, that is the closing motion. If you just get that focus there, then the V here, and then will slide in. Those who've done Aikido for a while, you recognize that as one throw. Okay? If you try to consciously do it, you will put your own weight in the cut, and you don't get the feeling of the safe dropping Here you have the chain in, boom. Okay? Okay? And you'll notice here, there's a sound. That's the sound the body feels. Right? I can go this way, you get a whooshing sound. But it's different. The body feels down. It's different. Okay? And we're going to help you out by changing your position in relationship to the safe. Just to get the raise, instead of thinking up, put your weight down into the cup. Your position at the top. So when that safe drops, everything kind of seems to go up. But it really is a down motion. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the chain inside as your spine. And as we're cutting, the chain is going to get longer. But this is going to be sort of like a Star Trek episode. And the longer the chain is still in the same increment of time. Space is changing or compressing so that as the chain gets longer, that safe in the gravitational field in that longer space creates an acceleration, so when it hits the bottom of the chain, there's even more without me having to put my weight in. Okay? And this is where you'll really start to get the sound in the cup. Now what we're doing, keep the chain lengthening. Okay? Okay? We're going to return to that. What I want to stress is that the way the Tojima Sensei would present, he would give you the basics of grip and everything. And one of his Boken classes was just usually that cut. And he would cut along with the rest of us and stand in front of you. You were supposed to match the rhythm of his cut. Okay? And he just would cut right in front of you for a while before he went to the next person. And what he was trying to do, my sense now, was get you to that body feel place. Okay? If you are, for example, cutting and you are out there checking the cut, it's not the body feel. If you're listening for the sound, that's not the body feel. I'm sure if we were to go into other universes of body field, how to hold, hit a home run, that was probably the feel he had. And since there's no basketball right now, I'm watching plays of a lot of Stephen Curry's experiences in the NC2As in Davidson. And I'm sure when he hit some of those crazy three-point shots, that was the body field of players, which is, or the night field image. Okay? Now, several things. We're going to continue with this. And what we're going to do is simply, I just want you, if you're there, if you have a bookend, to swing along. You see, the information is vital. In other words, you know, go back to what Mike Foucault, the Giants broadcaster, said, if you don't have proper mechanics, you have no chance. But on the other hand, if you are in a place where you are not in the body field, you're trying to execute the mechanics as you're swinging, you're in trouble. If you're thinking about what the pitcher is going to do, you're in trouble. Okay? On the other hand, there are adjustments that are out there. And if you don't understand that there are adjustments, which means that you have to understand that the branches are a part of the tree, you are also in trouble. Okay? And so we just changed branches a little bit when we said, okay, you are to begin the cut, you are on the top of the stake when it's rock. So instead of thinking it's a lift, it's like a roller coaster ride. Ah! All right? And then you hit the bottom, boom, of that slope. Boom, that's the cut. And then there's another one. Ah! Okay? So Osensei talked in terms of heaven, or mind, and earth, or body. Okay? So within that, they're united not so much through the idea, but through the rote exercise of the body, but through what we would call body field, or Bruce Lee called body field, and what Osensei might say, put it into the body. Okay, so we're going to cut a little bit more. If you're there with a bookend, that's fine. If you're not, go back over this video, if you should think of it, with a bookend. Make sure you don't break a lamp. Somebody. Okay? And try to match the rhythm. Okay? There's an expression in Japanese, it's called jikigen, which means direct transmission. In other words, when I was with Tojima Sensei, I wound up sort of in the field of his body experience, his body field. And therefore that was a direct transmission. In fact, if I go over the history of it, I just remember one time he was describing some things. He would say, Nam Kai no Nam Kai, Kurikaishi, Kurikaishi. Repeated again and again and again. He wasn't really talking here to get it. But all of a sudden he's done 3,000 cuts in his run for the day. You know, that's physical exercise. That's, if you want to do that, that's fine. But you're in the moment of it. You're moving towards body field, you're standing in body field. Okay? And in that particular thing, it doesn't matter if you do 2 cuts or 2,000 cuts. Okay? All right? So we're going to go over this again. Okay? There we go. start to think, when is this going to end? You're right at the gateway to body field. It's a really funny thing. A lot of times, in Japan, I'd be thinking, if I was working with basically an Asa sensei or Hana sensei, and they'd be throwing me around and throwing me around and throwing me around. I was thinking, when's this going to end? And that just meant I was really starting to get into the feel experience of the moment. That again is what Bruce Lee called the noisy mind, or the sensei called I. And one of the things about the body field is that when in the body field, the I is in a clearer place with itself. In fact, it's not so much I, it's an I self. And one of the things that you sort of get with the cutting is that things are more in the field. Okay, now we were doing, if we can do that, maybe one straight over there. We'll see if we can, okay. For example, here, David is coming with the cutting motion, that motion. Okay? Now, this physical timing, basically what I kind of want to be able to do as he's coming in, so is it focus stream of energy. Okay, if I'm in the thought idea of it, the potency of that flow is not there. Okay? Now, for example, here, I'm starting to feel this intention. It's like a wind blow. If he's coming in over here, boom, over here. Okay? So, without the wind. Okay? Now, what tends to happen if you're in the body field, you start to feel fluctuations in the thought of your attacker. So at some point, he's going to be coming in. Okay? See, if I'm mental with him, I'm trying to figure him out, he's creating waves with his thinking, and I'm creating waves in my thinking. But the body field place is the deeper place, so right at this point, now becomes, well, right now we have to social distancing, so I can't move in there, engage with a throw or take with it. I think you get the sense of it. Well, since if we were here, we'd probably say that, you don't want to have what we call the steep, an opening. So with the social distancing, which is very crucial and very important, that you observe that. If you're sloppy, what happens is that you get, the training in Japan was trying to eliminate your steep. You see, when I get very busy with the branches, there are gaps in what I'm doing. Now if he's coming in this direction, for example, boom. What we just did right there was picking up that motion as it started. Boom, boom. Okay? So what I'm doing is I feel that right up here and down. As he's coming in right here, we're here. Okay? Still trying as best we can to do the social distancing. Here. That's how I step back. Okay, now what I'm going to try to do is like on the Star Trek stuff. He's going to be the tractor. Okay, so what that means is that if I watch your sensei a lot, he should be drawing like a neighbor. So if it's in the neighbor's direction, the tractor will be raised or something, you can fill that space. Okay, again, trying to observe the social distancing, which is crucial. A lot of these things, like, the precautions we have to take, I take a disinfectant wipe, with me, and I wipe the car handle, and I wipe the steering wheel off, and I try to wash my hands when I go in, into a building, and then when I leave the building, doing all these crazy things, not so much out of paranoia, but it becomes an exercise in closing your openings. Okay? See, right here, for example, if I'm constant thought, it comes very quick. See, he's already on me before I can do anything. If I'm in the body field place, it's like there's a little bit of a... See, in some sense, everything starts with an idea. Even if he wants to think or not think an attack, that's an idea. So in other words, if motion starts, if I'm in body field, I pick up the fluctuations to some degree. That's what I'm aiming for. So the stuff I'm talking about is stuff that I'm working on. So it's not a finished product. But if he is coming in with a product, okay? All I'm doing is really picking his emotion up. And in certain cases, I create a vacuum or space for him to enter. And then when he initiates the next move, he creates a space that I fill. So it's yin to yang, yang to yin. Okay, so again, that happens at an energy level. Okay, I'm not a great believer in doing routines. Right? My first art was Shotokan Karate and Teribana. Very prescribed stuff, which was to produce a very strong form. Okay, I never really got past that. I think more in Aikido and also Tai Chi because they were more in terms of the energy. But in the moment, the body feel is strictly in the moment. You can understand it and get lost in thought, or emotion or fear. And you lose the body feel. Okay? And the body feel is a good grounded place where your center is. As for breath, as we talk about Aikido inside. So that becomes a very important thing to do, okay, to work for. So that's kind of the purpose of this. Now what I thought we'd do is just take this into a little bit more of a meditation session. Okay, so but I think I shared this as a story. Kojima Sensei was actually a factory worker when I first met in between coastal towns.